Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secret sauce of modern manufacturing, how some of the biggest companies in the world manage to turn what should be complete chaos into a finely tuned machine. I mean, just think about it for a second. From the car you drive to the phone in your pocket, companies are juggling this incredible level of complexity. They have to balance what customers want, the resources they actually have, and of course, that relentless ticking of the clock. So how on earth do they pull it off? It really seems impossible, right? But it's not magic. Well, the solution to this huge coordination problem is actually a really elegant two-part system. And the magic happens when those two parts work together in perfect harmony. All right, let's dive in. So first up, we have the big picture strategy. This is ground zero for the entire production journey. And it all starts with something called the Master Production Schedule, or as you'll hear it called, MPS. You know, the real beauty of the MPS is just how simple it is. It's not worried about the tiny details. Not yet, anyway. It's the high-level decision maker. It's there to answer three and only three fundamental questions. What are we making? How many are we going to make? And what's the deadline? To really get our heads around this, let's use an analogy. Imagine you're a chef and you're hosting a massive banquet. The MPS is you deciding on the main course and the serving time. You're not stressing about buying ingredients just yet. You're simply setting that top-level goal, 100 roast chickens, 8 p.m. sharp. And this is exactly why it is so critical. You see, without an MPS, a factory is just reacting, constantly putting out fires. That leads to chaos. You're working like crazy one week and then totally idle the next. The MPS smooths everything out, creating this steady, manageable pace. It helps make sure you have enough product on hand without, going completely overboard. So, you've decided on the menu, 100 roast chickens. Great. But how do you actually make them? That brings us to the second, much more detailed part of the plan, MRP. MRP is where the rubber meets the road. It takes the what and when from the MPS and breaks it all down into the how. Think of it as this super smart calculation engine that figures out every single screw, every wire, every little piece of plastic needed to bring that master plan to life. Let's jump back to our dinner party. You've locked in the plan, 100 chickens. The MRP system would then look at your recipe, do the math, and figure out that you need, say, 100 chickens, 200 lemons, 50 bunches of thyme, and so on. But here's the best part. It also tells you exactly when to order them, so they all arrive fresh for cooking. It is your perfect automated shopping list. And honestly, this is the real game changer. Older systems were just reactive. They just replaced what was used. MRP, on the other hand, is predictive. It looks at the future plan that the MPS has laid out and gets the materials there just in time. This prevents the two biggest headaches in manufacturing, either running out of parts mid-production or having millions of dollars tied up in parts you don't even need yet. So we've got the master plan and we've got the detailed shopping list, but these aren't just two separate ideas. Their real power, the real elegance of this whole system comes from how they work together as a team. See, manufacturing planning happens in this cascade, flowing from really broad down to super specific. It all kicks off with that long-term vision. Then the MPS translates that vision into a medium-term production schedule. And finally, the MRP takes that schedule and turns it into daily, actionable tasks for the folks on the factory floor. It's just this perfect, logical flow of information. When you get right down to it, it's pretty simple. MPS is the strategist, totally focused on the big picture. And MRP? Well, MRP is the logistician, obsessed with all the tactical details. One sets the goal, the other figures out exactly how we're going to get there. So the most crucial point here is how much they depend on each other. This is where the genius of the system really shines. I mean, a garbage plan in the MPS is going to lead to a garbage execution by the MRP. It's that simple. But when that MPS is accurate and realistic, the MRP can work its magic, making sure there's a smooth flow of materials that results in the holy grail of manufacturing. Happy customers getting what they want right when they want it. Okay, so all this planning sounds great in theory, but what about the real-world results? Let's talk about the concrete benefits that make this whole system the absolute backbone of modern industry. A really well-crafted master production schedule brings a ton of stability and efficiency. It literally prevents the burnout of your people and your machines by leveling out the workload. It helps the company pivot when the market suddenly zigs instead of zags. And by optimizing resources, it makes sure that nothing and no one is just sitting around idle. And the benefits of MRP are just as powerful, especially for the company's bottom line.
It directly cuts costs by getting rid of waste and those expensive rush shipping fees for parts somebody forgot to order. It seriously improves cash flow by not tying up money in inventory that's just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. And because everyone from purchasing to production is working off the exact same playbook, it fosters some incredible teamwork.
At the end of the day, it's really this simple. The MPS sets the destination, and the MRP provides the turn-by-turn directions to get there. Together, they transform what could be a chaotic, messy process into a predictable, repeatable science. Now, this system has pretty much defined manufacturing for decades, but with AI getting smarter every day and global supply chains getting more and more complex, the big question is, what does the next generation of planning even look like? That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining The Explainer.